What's up, Lumberjack fans? Today we've got a very special family edition of Lumberjack Flashback. I'm Stacey Sobe, and I'm joined by NAU women's tennis alum and sisters, Tatum and Haley Rochin. Tatum and Haley, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Of course. I know we're living through difficult times right now with the pandemic. How are you both doing, and what have you been up to since both graduating from NAU?
You can go first, Hales.
Yeah, so I'm working as a mental health clinician in Phoenix, Arizona. I got my master's at Grand Canyon University in addiction counseling, and I just love being able to help the population with mental health. And yeah, it's been a really great and fulfilling career so far.
Nice. So I'm working in higher education. I'm actually at the University of Arizona as an academic advisor. I spent some time working in various athletic departments after graduating at NAU, but Tucson has always been home to me, so that's where I ended up. And since the pandemic, just a lot of working from home and Zoom chats like this one.
Absolutely. We're all becoming Zoom experts at this point. So,
exactly.
No, I mean, higher education, mental health, that's awesome that you guys are doing great work, really representing the Lumberjack family really, really well. So congrats to you both on
Thank you.
So far.
Thank you.
So I know I'm super excited to catch up with you both today here on Lumberjack Flashback. So how about we get started?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So today we're going to talk about NAU's 6-1 win over Sacramento State back April 13th, 2014. Now, to the average fan, what's so special necessarily about just kind of a regular Big Sky victory? Well, it was pretty monumental. Sacramento State had kind of been the thorn in NAU women's tennis's side for 13 years. It was 21 straight losses to the Hornets up until that 6-1 win, which you guys were both a part of. What do you guys both remember about that match?
I'll start if you don't mind. That was like one of my favorite days ever. So it was my senior day. So I had a bunch of family and friends up there, and Haley was on the team, of course. And it was just such a great environment. Like, I remember being kind of scared to play Sac State. Like, we hadn't beaten them in 13 years. I don't think anyone in the Big Sky had beaten them in 13 years. Like, they were on a ridiculous winning streak. And I just remember, like, the moment I knew the match was clinched, it was so cool to be there with Haley and my family. It was just like one of the greatest feelings. And it was just a regular season match. Like, it wasn't a championship match or anything like that, but it was one of the biggest wins for me because of who we beat, and also because I was able to do it with my sister. It was really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have to just add to what Tatum said. It was really cool being a freshman and coming in my first year, hearing this big giant of Sac State. You make it bigger in your mind of how good are these girls? Will our training hold up when we play them? And it did. And beating them was one of the best feelings, but it was a total plus that it was such a high for Tatum's career. And then the other seniors that day as well.
Absolutely. So you guys were both part of the victory. Haley, you're a freshman. Tatum, you were a senior. It was senior day, so we'll touch on that in just a moment as well. But you guys both won. You both won your doubles matches, your singles matches. Your former coach, Kim Bruno, she was quoted that day saying that you guys took care of Sac State. It wasn't a 4-3 victory. It was a 6-1 convincing win by the Lumberjacks. But with all that being said and all the history and so forth, tie-in senior day emotions, you guys already touched on it a little bit, but when you guys won, what was that feeling like after the match?
I don't even know. It's so hard to describe. Like, it was just such a great high. Just being there with the whole team and my family. And I felt like we could do anything at that point. And I know the championship didn't turn out how we wanted it to a few weeks later, but it was just a really great feeling of accomplishment, knowing that we worked so hard during the season and it all just culminated into a really big victory. It was such a cool feeling.
Yeah, to add what Tatum said, I think it's really But what made it feel so good is that prior to the match, we were playing and working out 2-3 hours a day to prepare for the match in really intense practices. So the intensity of the practices allowed us to really show up and use that practice to win our matches. And as a team, it was so fulfilling because we had a variety of girls on the team in that match, and they all, like, we were all as a team rejoicing in that win because it felt amazing. We were like,
it's like the best team accomplishment to, like,
yeah,
not just like if I had won my match but we had lost, I wouldn't have remembered it as much. Like, I probably wouldn't have cared. But just like winning as a team was the coolest thing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Now, to be fair, Sac State was beating up on everybody during this stretch. They won 11 Big Sky championships in that 11-year run. Unfortunately, 9 of them came against NAU in the Big Sky championship match. But Sac State, they were a formidable team out of the Big Sky. They're nationally ranked for so many of those years now. You know, you guys were, Tatum, you were a transfer into NAU, so that was just your second year. And, of course, Haley, that was your first. So you weren't a part of that history, but is that something that the team was aware of going into that day, that, hey, Sac State's had our number for a decade now? Is that something you guys were mentally aware of?
I think so. Like, I don't think we had a conversation where we ever underestimated them or didn't realize what a formidable opponent they would be. I don't know if we, like, harped too much on their winning streak because we just didn't like to talk about it that much, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure everyone was aware of, like, their status at that point. Do you think that's true, Haley?
Yeah, I have to be honest. When I saw we were playing them for senior day, it kind of broke my heart a little bit.
Me too.
Not that I didn't think we'd win. Like, obviously, I thought we have a great chance. This is one of the best teams NAU has ever had, and I'm not just saying that. We were stacked that year.
Yeah.
But I thought if we're ever going to have a good chance, it's going to be this year. But my heart was really heavy when I saw it for Tatum.
Me too.
Just because it's not like a team that we've had their number. They had ours, and so we had to break, not just win, but break that stigma.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that. I think I vividly remember going to Coach Bruno's office and being like so upset that we had Sac State for senior day, and it actually turned out to be the greatest thing ever. But yeah, that's a good point, Hells.
Yeah.
It couldn't have worked out any better. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I know you guys are super, super close sisters. Your family was at, just about every match that they could be at. So to be able to have that crossover for one season, Tatum, your senior year, to be able to play Division I tennis together at the same school, at the same time, that's got to be a dream come true. Is that something you guys always hoped maybe one day would be a dream come true when you guys first started playing tennis, way back years ago?
I don't think so. We were very competitive growing up, and college tennis was, like, never really on our minds until right before it. But then when it happened, it just kind of felt natural and it felt right to be on the same team. And I couldn't imagine not being on the same team as Haley, even if it was just for a year. Like, it would have just felt weird if you were at a different school. So it definitely felt natural, like, when it happened. What do you think, Els?
Yeah, so Tatum was recruited before me. I was a junior going into my senior year of high school. And one of the main reasons why I picked NAU is because I have a learning disability and school's really hard for me. Tatum and I were homeschooled through high school. So not only was NAU a great school, but it was helpful as me as a younger sister to know I'd have support academically.
Yeah.
So that was a huge, I really never thought of playing tennis with Tatum in college, but I'm really glad I got the opportunity because I think that's going to be something really cool to share with generations and future Lumberjacks.
And I know your family's full of Lumberjacks as well. So,
yeah.
What a proud moment for the entire Rochin family.
Right. Definitely our dad.
Awesome. Now, Tatum, you graduated, and Haley, your career progressed, and you are the first two of NAU's 4 straight Big Sky regular season championship teams. Dare I say it, almost Sacramento State-like dominance that you were part of the teams that started that. So as your career kind of progressed, Haley, and you guys started winning championships, how awesome was that to kind of cap your career?
Yeah, it was pretty great. It was actually way more awesome than great. My junior and senior year was incredible. Getting the new facility really stepped things up for us to train even harder. And then we went undefeated and we started winning regular. And then, you know, the girls just won last year. So it was a pretty amazing experience. One, I wish I had experienced with my sister a little bit because I think she would have loved to be there as well.
I would have. Like to win a regular season. You're right.
Yeah.
For
but
sure.
I think Tatum also set a lot of culture in place on the team because we still had a few girls when she was a senior grow up and like go under what she taught us. So it was kind of like she was a part.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So do I get a ring?
I mean, women's tennis has come, and men's tennis for that matter, has come so far, you know, in just the last with a new facility and several championships on both sides. I remember them when you first got here. We were playing matches at Continental and Dona and
we were driving to practice and driving to different towns for home matches, which is fine. I knew what I was getting myself into, and I loved the environment, but definitely stepped it up.
For sure. So, as you guys both mentioned, you know, they're coming off a NCAA tournament championship or tournament appearance in 2019. You know, I'd like to say they probably would have made it back. You know, this past spring, unfortunately, the pandemic cut the season short. But I mean, they're in arguably the greatest run in any women's tennis history right now. We're in the midst of that. So, as two alums of the program. That played a critical part in kind of starting this dynasty, so to speak. How proud are you to be Lumberjacks and see the current crop of Lumberjacks really thriving?
You can go first, Haley, since you're more recent.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy for them. Like I celebrate with them when I follow on Instagram. These girls work so hard day in and day out, and they deserve everything that comes to them because they put in the work. So I'm just really proud of them.
Yeah, I like miss being on the team, and I miss being up in Flagstaff almost every week, but it's nice to know that like I still feel a little bit a part of the team. Even though I'm not out there on the court with them, I feel really proud and I still feel very connected, and their successes, I feel like I'm succeeding a little bit too with them, and I'm very proud of them and always happy to see the program grow.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's part of, you know, the reason why we're doing these Lumberjack flashbacks. Everyone who has come before, all of our current student athletes are part of our current success. So it's been a blast catching up with you both. Miss you guys here in Flagstaff, and I hope you guys had fun as well.
Yeah, thanks. This has been really fun to reminisce.
Thanks, Jason.
Of course. Well, you know, during the pandemic, you know, keep safe, stay healthy, and best wishes to you both and your family as well.
Yeah, you as well.
Awesome. Go Jacks.
Go Jacks.
Good job.